So, have you ever been in love with a piece of hardware so much that you wanted to marry it? I'm just kind of wondering if I'm the only one. Hardware Hound here, and I have another product from EpicGear to review, and this time it is the Morpha X modular gaming mouse. This mouse has been a lot of fun to use, but you know what? I don't want to spoil the rest of the review too much, but I do want to point out one thing. This thing is a metal tin box that this mouse came in. I've missed those things so much. I mean, I remember when like processors and certain things used to come, but yeah, they shipped it into like a legit metal box. That's awesome. All right, let's take a closer look at this thing. I'm gonna talk about the testing impressions, and then we'll wrap this review up. Okay guys, so we need to look at what it really means to have a modular mouse. So I gotta pick up a couple things too, but I almost forgot. So EpicGear's got kind of a fun little color cycle thing that they do when the mouse sits, but once you move it, it usually just goes straight to the color profile that you are currently on. So normally I'd probably say if you're going to swap stuff out, it might not be a bad idea to leave the mouse off, but I kind of wanted to see this, let you see this lighting scheme on this guy. So yeah, here's our Morpha X. The shape is really similar to the Zora, and just kind of the same like DPI buttons and stuff. It's very symmetrical. In fact, the only reason why you can kind of tell it's a right-handed mouse is because your thumb buttons are on the left-hand side where your thumb is, so right-handed mouse. So yeah, I mean, at first glance, maybe this is just a kind of standard-looking mouse. But then we get to start looking underneath the hood, so let's do that. So this guy, for starters, is very, very easy to take apart. In fact, if I have any trouble taking it apart, is only going to be because I'm trying to reach around my camera here. But yeah, look at that. That lid just lifts right off. It's got little screws, and there's like some little magnets, it looks like, inside that helps hold it in. And it doesn't take much to hold it in. Now, right here would be our adjustable weight system. As you can see, I've pulled all the weights out because, you know, I end up preferring to have it a little bit lighter. In fact, the lightest weight is like perfect for me. But there we go, little 5-gram weights right there. You can see at 5G a little bit. It's a little hard to focus in on that with this camera. So yeah, you just pull the lid off and you are just good to go. Once you pull the lid off, then you can go down here and this guy just poof. I poofed it to where I could see it, and it dawned on me, yeah, you guys can't see it because I gotta keep it right here. But yeah, look at that. That's just how easy that thing slides out. And so I had the laser sensor in here. And so if I go back, and that really surprises me, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So then if I go back here, there's my optical sensor. And so I can choose between optical or laser. Here's my 3360. So plug that guy back in, and there we go. Mouse starts powering back up again. And so we have power. So the really cool thing about being modular like this is, if I found out it's easier to just come over here on that side. So if you reach from the back side like that, these buttons just click right off. And what's also kind of cool is I can switch that out, and one of the things I also include is white. So there's like these little tabs here, and so if you kind of come in from the front angle and get these tabs to kind of set in there first and try to get that to pull in and then drop it down, it's much easier to get the panel back on. So yeah, there you go. You got the white panels too, and you know, EpicGear's also got the white on the back side too, if you like the white better. I like the gray better personally, but it's just, you know, options, so many options. So now let's get into what truly modular means. So here's our little switch puller. Now the way they got this mouse designed is kind of fantastic, because all you have to do is pop this guy in, and I'll try not to click too many buttons here, and and you just kind of rock a little bit back and forth, and you can pull that switch right on out of there. So we get that one out, and we will go, oops, I caught a little too much angle on that one side. And so now I've got to get into the other side. Let's see how this works here, because it's kind of nice to get real-time problems like this, right? Ooh. So, what we have learned is you want to be careful a little bit pulling that out. And yet, what we also learned is it still came out not too bad. And that was with me pulling out. So try to pull it out evenly just to save yourself a little bit of worry, but honestly, it doesn't look like we've damaged any of the pins or anything, so everything looks good. So then, the nice thing is putting the new switch back in is a little bit easier. We just have to push that baby down, and once it snaps in, you're good. And then you got little switches right there. So I will throw this other orange one back in. Throw that guy off to the side here. Bam, clicks right in there. Just gotta put a little bit of pressure on it. I'm clicking all kinds of things on my monitor right now because, you know, I did this without it turned off. Like I said, I would recommend turning off, but I just wanted you guys to see the little bit of the lighting and stuff. So yeah, get those two front parts in the front, and then once you do, you can just kind of pull it and it'll just set right in. Nice light click feel on these buttons. I really like that. And then we just slap that guy back on, and that, my friends, is a modular mouse. It's pretty fantastic. So we'll go over the software a little bit more because the software is a little bit different, but we got our DPI here. Change it to 4 different DPI settings. And like the Zora, if you click and hold this until it flashes, now it's locked. If I accidentally touch it, I won't change my DPI if I don't want to change. Click and hold it again until it flashes. Now I can change my DPI again. And then finally, once again, we go through our profiles. I put different colors on my profile so you could see the LEDs. And I'm going to get to just the one minor complaint I have about the Morpha X. So it is a full RGB mouse, and I've set some default colors here just so you can see them, but you can also just choose your own custom color, like just the full range, and that's great. What I really wanted though on the default profiles is some kind of color cycle, something that just tells the mouse to just automatically and all the time color cycle, because I kind of like that RGB effect. So I'd like to see them add that if they could, but if they can't, then maybe on future versions. So there you go. That is an official closer look at a modular mouse. Guys, honestly, I feel like they are doing that so right on the modular level. I'm pretty darn impressed with that. I mean, you could see it went through that pretty easily. Let's go ahead, talk about some gaming impressions on this guy. Okay guys, so now we've wrapped up that closer look, shown how the modular pieces works excellently. I mean, I really love what EpicGear did with the concept of a modular mouse. So let's talk about though how it actually works on a gaming level. And yes, I love it. Absolutely love the feel of this mouse. You know, first off, the way they do the grip on the sides is just really comfortable for being able to keep a nice solid grip without having to feel like I'm having to hold it too tight. I really like the symmetrical design. Now, granted, the symmetrical design thing, that could be a flavor of taste that can vary from person to person. But I've done probably about, good 7-8 mouse reviews now, and this is the one that I just really love using. Now, a lot of that relies on the type of sensor and stuff, but you know, we'll get into that in a second. The symmetrical feel is great. I love that. That is a personal favorite of mine. I get it, your mileage might vary, but I gotta tell you, that's what I feel. Talking about another big feel that I love the button design on these mouses. These things are kind of standalone individual buttons, and they just click so softly that it doesn't take a lot of effort to just do a nice little simple click, and I love that feel. When it comes to the two main things that I do, which is gaming and work productivity stuff, both felt excellent. Now, I'm still a huge fan of optical sensors, and I am sorry, those of you at EpicGear, I know that some of you thought that laser was better, and you're probably going to be disappointed at me, and I'm sorry, but I really love that optical sensor. But it doesn't matter because you get both. I still feel like the laser might help a little bit for harder surfaces, but it was hard for me to get a real good gauge on that because I use a cloth mouse pad here and I only use a hard surface at work, and I didn't get to do as much work testing as I did just home and editing testing here. But still, optical sensor is fantastic. Gaming, super easy to move around, do all that stuff, and then even doing little tiny, just very detailed movements with the optical sensor was great. I ended up going with the orange switches. I think I like those more. They're really hard for me to tell the difference. Both switches feel excellent. I think maybe a more heavy professional gamer might be able to really tell some of that difference, but both switches feel great. I think I like the oranges more. We'll leave it at that. This is definitely a true epic modular mouse that feels great. It works great. I just love using it. It's comfortable. I just kind of forget about it when I'm in the process of doing other stuff because I don't feel uncomfortable at all when I'm using this mouse. We even have the adjustable weight system, and the software, that's probably the worst part that EpicGear's got going for them. The software looks a little dated, but I didn't seem to have problems this time at all. Like I had a few issues with the Defiant before I had updated some firmwares and software, but with the Morpha X, I just didn't have any issues. Saved profiles, mouse works great. So, I really like this mouse. We better wrap this review up. So in conclusion, we basically have two whole mice in one with the multiple optical sensors, the multiple plates that are already included, and the multiple switches. I mean, this is basically two whole mice in one. We've got top of the line laser sensors, we've got top of the line optical sensor, we have a nice metal tin, we have we got RGB LED effects. I mean, what am I forgetting to mention? I love the design. Oh, adjustable weight system. Adjustable weight system. So at this point, it's probably like, yep, this mouse is probably going to be $200 worth of mouse to get this. So you look at the MSRP, and you got $129.99. And you're thinking, at least I'm thinking, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's a really fair price. I mean, $150 would maybe even be fairly reasonable. And then, you know, I go back, I'm working on this review, go check out Amazon, and it's $89.99. $89.99. You're getting like two mice, like good quality gaming mice for the price of one. You should buy it. Just buy this mouse. You should buy this mouse. That price is phenomenal. I don't know how EpicGear is doing it. Okay guys, let's be fair. I understand that I love this mouse, and this EpicGear's mice are going to replace everything that I've used. And considering that, and while I don't usually like to just name drop so much, I love the Fanatic Flick. That was a really great mouse, had a great gaming feel. So the fact that someone finally has replaced that, in my opinion, is fantastic. But they don't just, they got everything going on. This is such a huge package. I have absolutely no choice. Of course, from a pure overclock standpoint, we're definitely going editor's choice on this mouse. This is a fantastic mouse and I love it. But I'm gonna do the thing that I don't normally do. And the reason why is because I feel like this mouse is for everyone. I'm gonna give it a Hardware Hounds must-have award. No two ways about it. For the price and just how much value you get, if you're not sure that you want an optical or a laser sensor, it doesn't matter because you got both. And you can use whichever one for whatever circumstance, and it's super easy to swap them out. Hardware Hound must have, pure overclock, editor's choice. This is a fantastic mouse, guys. I do highly recommend you pick one up. 90 bucks on Amazon is, I think, a fantastic steal for what EpicGear is offering. So there we go, pretty straightforward review. Didn't have to go into too much detail. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you like this. Share out this video. I really think EpicGear could use any amount of publicity they can get, because I really think they're doing a great job, and I'd love to see them get more traction, especially here in the States. And maybe they are already, but it's hard for me to gauge that, at least on some of my response. But still, I feel like any extra traction they can get is a good thing. So yeah, go ahead, if you don't mind, share it out. Of course, if you want to help me out, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you later.